Hey, out there in online land, this is Vic Martino, and I just want to give a little shout out to people I've known that are no longer around. You know, their time was up and they're gone, but hopefully they're in a better place, as we like to think. Hopefully there is a heaven. I like to feel the way there's this, there's that. I don't know for sure. Nobody does. Some people claim claim they do, but that's why they call it faith. Or fate. Faith? Faith. Fate is something different. Yeah, that's why you gotta have faith. And I'm not sure. I wish I was more of a vehement believer. I want to believe. I believe more than I disbelieve, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I hope it's true, because it sounds too good to be true, but I hope it is true, and I hope that my family members that are no longer here and some friends that I've known that are no longer here, I hope they're there. And the reason for this is the other day they had a street fair here in the neighborhood, as we call a block party, and I ran into an old friend. Actually, my mother's best friend, my mother Rose, her best friend was a woman named Marion. And I ran into, and there at the street fair, someone who looked very familiar. And I said, "Oh, that's Marion's daughter, Lucia, my mother's best friend." So I went up to her and I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Are you, I got the names mixed up." I said, "Are you Lucia's daughter?" And she said, "I'm Lucia." What was your mother's name? Marion. Yeah, Marion. Are you Marion's daughter? Yeah. I'm Rosie's son. Oh, and she was so glad to see me. I mean, it's been years, and I'm glad she's still around. We're like the same age, but although I have some friends that were younger than me that are no longer with me or no longer here. But anyway, it was good seeing her. It brought back a lot of memories. Like, her mother and my mother were best friends. They were kind of like a female Laurel and Hardy. They were always together. I mean, they were really best friends. That was my mother's best friend. So it was good seeing her. And recently, a couple of friends that I grew up with that I haven't seen in years. And, one of them I had got together with on Facebook. And actually through another friend that I got together with, but not on Facebook, but someone from another neighborhood. These are neighborhood guys I grew up with that I haven't seen in years. And one of the guys still in the neighborhood, and I'm still in the neighborhood. Well, I came back to the neighborhood. He hooked me up with this other friend of mine who we used to be friends as kids, and he used to live upstairs from me. His name is John Napoli. Calls himself John Knapp. I used to know him as John Napoli. Now he's Jon Knapp. But and he put me in touch with another friend that I grew up with, John Canigliaro, who unfortunately, not that long after I was put in contact with him again, and he was like my best friend growing up. We were together for a long time until we just went our separate ways, and I wound up moving from the block I lived on to another block, and then was in California for 4 years. But anyway, not that long after I got together with my childhood friend, one of my best childhood, if not the best childhood friend of mine, John Canigliaro, and then I'm glad I got together with him again before he passed away, but then he passed away not long after. And another friend of mine, Philip Labasco, who I haven't seen in years, he came to see me one day. I wasn't home. He found out where I was living. That I was back living here again. This was a family home, and I moved back in, and I took over the apartment. But he came one day at the door, and I wasn't home. And a friend of mine that I rent one of the rooms to, because I got a big apartment, I rent a couple of rooms, told me that he came to see me. And unfortunately, I never did get to see him, Philip. And then I heard he passed away, or he was mysteriously somebody. I spoke with his sister. I got it from Facebook. I'm getting in touch with old contacts, and I spoke with his sister, who told me that it's like somebody murdered him in Las Vegas, poisoned a drink or something, some mysterious way of leaving this mortal coil. But anyway, so he actually passed away before John did. I heard about his passing, and then John passed away, and got me to thinking of other people besides my family members who are no longer here, like my Aunt Anna. Oh, she was gone. She passed away in 1977. Had a bad heart. In those days, they didn't, a weak heart. In those days, they didn't have defibrillators or pacemakers, and she was only like 48. And I remember her best friend was a woman named Tootsie, who used to live in the neighborhood. So I got to thinking of all these people that are no longer with me, or here, that I've known. Like I said, my mother Rose, her best friend Marion, and Anna, her best friend Tootsie, and then my two best friends, John Canigliaro and Philip Labasco. And the guy I worked with, we used to do an Abbott and Costello act, and Abbott and Costello and the Blues Brothers. Sal Scarabino, he passed away. His name was Sal Scarabino. He was like, I worked with quite a few of these guys, but this guy was like the best. I was Abbott, he was Costello. He was the best Costello and Blues Brothers. I was Elwood, he was Jake, and he passed away. I haven't seen him in years either. I haven't been in touch with him, but I was told by a mutual friend of ours that he had passed away. Sure enough, I found out that he did, and these guys, were all younger than me, and it's just, that's just the way it is. I just hope that we're all gonna meet each other again in heaven and renew old acquaintances. Anyway, I was just making this video as a personal, shout out to them, that I still remember them and think of them often, and hope they're in a better place, and I hope I will see them again when my time comes. But hopefully that won't be too soon. I want to live out this life and enjoy it as much as I can, my remaining years. And then when it's time, well, hopefully I'll be joining my old friends and family members again. So that's it. I just wanted to make this video as a tribute to some people that I've known and loved.